You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, we're off and running. Life without Karl Anthony Towns proving to be pretty difficult. Once again, the Knicks star sat out with a sore thumb, and once again, because of it, the Knicks lose. His old team, Cat's old team, Minnesota, beat him tonight at the Garden, 116-99. As we said, Cat still with the sore thumb. No sore thumb for Anthony Edwards. In fact, nothing sore about his night tonight. He was phenomenal. 36 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists in the victory. Again, 116-99. The Knicks lose. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Hope you can join us after every Knicks game. Follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast, as we told you, gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. That's what we're doing right now. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Once again, Jalen Brunson was good, to be expected, but it obviously wasn't enough. Knicks' three-point defense, we've got to discuss. It has not been good of late. Quite a night from beyond the arc for Minnesota. We'll get to it. Old friend Julius Randle made his return to Madison Square Garden. He only had 8 points, didn't take very many shots, but I'm sure he's happy with the win, which, of course, is all that matters. All that coming up on the postcast. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Again, FanDuel.com. And before we start, one other note, your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter, one stop for ultimate team and league coverage, delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. Once again, that's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. Quite an inconsistent couple of nights for the Knicks. Win-loss, back and forth. In fact, they have not won back-to-back games since the end of their 9-game win streak. Of course, the 9th win came on January 1st. The Knicks have not won back-to-back games in nearly 3 weeks, folks. Should we be concerned? We'll discuss. By the way, Tom Thibodeau's birthday was today. Happy birthday, Coach. 116-99 loss. The Knicks are now 27-16 overall and 13-8 at home. The numbers are still pretty good, and they're in the obviously top half of the Eastern Conference, but there are some concerns. Let's run through some of those concerns and some of those numbers. The Knicks have given up at least 100 points in 11 of their last 12 games. So when you play the Knicks, triple digits is the goal. Knicks have not won back-to-back games since the end of the winning streak, as we said. The Knicks bench has been outscored every game except for 5. That's the fewest in the NBA. 5 times the Knicks bench has outscored their opponent's bench, just 5 times. And again, that is the fewest in the NBA. All right, the teams combined to hit 23 three-pointers in the first half, specifically Minnesota, folks. These numbers are astounding. 22 of 40 from three-point land. That's a cool 55%. No team, one, should be connecting on 22 three-pointers as your opponent, let alone taking 40 of them. So the Knicks defense, non-existent. And considering, 1, it's Thibs' forte, and 2, it's Thibs' birthday, not sure where the defense is. It really hasn't been there all season long. All right, Jericho Sims once again got the start in the place of Karl Anthony Towns. He played 19 minutes, did not have a point tonight, did grab 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Point being, the Knicks are just not the same team without Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, that's the no kidding statement of the day. But Precious Achiuwa, and it probably doesn't matter that he's not starting, but Precious Achiuwa is getting those precious moments at the 5 in place of Jericho Sims, specifically in second half of games. So you might as well just start Precious Achiuwa at the 5 and call it even. Jericho Sims, as we said, played 19 minutes, took just 2 shots. Jalen Brunson led the Knicks with 26, but he was just 9 of 23 shooting. Knicks were 35 of 90 for 38%, well below their field goal percentage on the season. We talked about Anthony Edwards, a near triple-double, 36 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. He did commit 6 turnovers. However, what's interesting about his night tonight was the fact that it started so poorly. He went 0 for 6 to start the game. Folks, he finished at 12 for 21. So he went 12 of 15 after starting 0 for 6, and that's exactly why he pumped in 36 tonight, a game high. Meanwhile, from three-point land, as expected, Edwards is a chucker. In fact, he entered the game today with the most three-pointers of any player in the league, 167. Well, you can put 8 more on the board. He was 8 of 13 from 3. And folks, that includes the 0 for 6 starts of the game. Really a brilliant stretch from Anthony Edwards in the final 3 quarters. As we said, he also grabbed 13 rebounds and dished out 7 assists. He's the complete package, was a plus 24. No Knicks starter was a plus. Obviously, in a loss, that's likely to be the case. A couple of big numbers, though. Josh Hart, who, believe it or not, left with what appeared to be a serious shoulder injury, only to return roughly 3 game minutes later. He's fine. Obviously, he's sore and he's beat up, especially considering the amount of minutes that he's played. Hart, 37 and a half minutes played per game, second in the NBA to, of course, only Mikal Bridges. 38.8, has a minute and a half lead over Josh Hart. Bridges 1 in the NBA, Hart 2 in the NBA, and those numbers, no surprise tonight. Bridges played 39 minutes. Josh Hart, despite leaving with the injury, still played 38. Jalen Brunson played 36. OG, who did have 18 tonight on 5 of 10 shooting, but has not been in a groove of late, he played 38 minutes as well. Even Precious Achiuwa, who didn't start the game, played 36. He was effective, grabbing 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks, certainly filling up the stat sheet, specifically on the defensive end. As we said for Precious, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, no turnovers. And speaking of turnovers, the Knicks committed just 9 of them. In fact, 3 in the first quarter. They committed only 6 the rest of the way for a total, again, of just 9 turnovers. They dished out only 19 assists. So the ratio's not terrible. The assists obviously needs to get higher. And when you win a game, those numbers will be higher. As we said, and we repeatedly talk about this, a benchmark, especially for a Knicks success, is 30-plus assists. They're not even coming close. Again, just 19 assists and 9 turnovers. So that's basically several things. One and done offensively. No offensive rebounds and no second chances. And a lot of stagnant offense, if you will. Lots of standing around and looking. OG had 18, as we said. Bridges had 15. Those two really need to pick it up. 6 of 17 for Bridges. OG was 5 of 10. And again, it's not as if so go those guys, so go the Knicks, but it would help to alleviate some of the pressure on Brunson and Towns, and even Josh Hart for that matter, if Bridges and OG would step up. OG's been in a funk for a while now. Bridges, obviously inconsistent, does have good shooting nights, and obviously can get cold as well, but both have been slightly off. Bridges and OG, each playing nearly 40 minutes. OG also in the top 10 in minutes in the NBA. As we said, Bridges 1, Hart 2. But again, the combination of Bridges and Anunoby have got to pick things up. All right, old friend Julius Randle was in the house. Randle did play 35 minutes, took only 6 shots, 2 of 6 from the floor. Not the Randle we're familiar with, but again, scoring 8 points and winning. I'm sure Julius is happy. We did not see Dante DiVincenzo out with a sore toe. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that it was a toe. He's played every game this season. His first missed game of the season. Coming into today, the Timberwolves had 7 guys play in all of their games. That number goes down to 6 because DiVincenzo missed his first game. As we said, the Timberwolves are at the halfway point now. They played 41 games, and now 6 of their players have played in every game. For a little perspective on that, just 2 Knicks have played in every game. Knicks have played 43 games, most of any team in the NBA. They're 27-16, as we said. Again, 43 games total. 21 of them at home, and they've only had 2 players, 2 as compared to 6, play every game this season. All right, we'll take our first break, and then we got to talk Cam Payne, who for some reason didn't play much in the second half, and I'm not exactly sure why. We'll try and break it down coming up next. All right, with Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year. From first match, must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18, 2024. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. All right, we are back for segment number 2 of the Knicks postcast here as the Knicks take on the Timberwolves tonight, and they lose. Final score 116-99. We'll take a look at the standings and, of course, the schedule coming up. Cam Payne, what a night for Cam Payne. He did something he had never done before. That scores 16 points in a single quarter. He did that tonight in the second quarter, had 18 in the first half. As we said, a career high for a quarter. His career high is 29 overall. His career high as a Knick, 19. He scored 18 tonight. He did so in 13 minutes, most of which were in the first half. In fact, Payne was 7 of 10 from the floor, including 5 of 5 to start. Payne hit 4 of 5 three-pointers, and yet the minutes police checking in again. Yet he didn't play much of the second half, and I can't figure out why. Not to mention, when he was pulled from the game was when he was at his hottest. Now, yes, Brunson had been sitting on the bench, so they needed to get him back in the game. He had been on the bench for a while, so they needed to get him back in the game for obvious reasons. He's your best player now. But again, Cam Payne was hot. When a guy's hot, shoot until you're not hot anymore. Especially in a close game or a game that you're losing. So interesting stuff there from Thibs. Cam Payne played 13 minutes and scored 18 points. He was the only Knick that was a plus minus. He was a +2. Again, when you lose and when you lose by double figures, the plus minus numbers are going to be ugly. And they were exactly that. Deuce played 19 minutes tonight. Again, 3 main contributors off the bench tonight. Precious played 36 minutes. Cam Payne, as we said, scored 18 in 13 minutes. And Deuce McBride scored 4 points on 2 baskets in 19 minutes. Ariel Hukporti, Tyler Kolek, and Pacome Dadier all got a minute as Thibs cleared the bench late fourth quarter. All right, there were quite a few 3 balls hit by Minnesota tonight. As we told you, 22 of 40. However, 6 of them came from Naz Reid on guess how many shots? 6. Hit all 6 3-pointers, at least 3 or 4 of them from way beyond the arc, from the logo. Really amazing stuff from the former 6th man of the year. Now, Naz Reid pumped in 23 off the bench in just 25 minutes, 8 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 6 from 3, also had 8 rebounds. A very effective player. Making it even more surprising that Minnesota's only 3 games above 500 for the season. They're 22-19, 12-10 away. And it also makes you wonder, and I was thinking about this all night tonight, makes you wonder about Cat's relationship with the rest of those guys. Not that they won a championship. They didn't, but they did get to a Western Conference Finals last year with Cat. Point is, they have so much talent, specifically on the defensive side, specifically in the starting lineup. It's amazing Cat couldn't make it work. But again, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle makes for quite a front line. All right, again, 116-99. As we said, Jalen Brunson was pretty good tonight, scored 26. His last 3 games, he's averaging 38 points per game coming in. A little bit below that average now because he only scored 26 on 9 of 23 shooting, which of course is not great, but you get the point. Brunson's been hot of late. Now, Josh Hart did not have a double-double tonight. He had 9 rebounds and 12 points. So his double-double numbers stay at 21. Why is that worthy? Well, 21 in 43 games, roughly half. You know how many double-doubles he had last year? 21. The same exact number, except he's gotten there in half a season. Remember, he left at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter, sort of holding his, I guess, left shoulder blade, which was injured in a collision, actually with his own player. As we said, 3 minutes of game time, less than 3 minutes of game time, he returned. He went from the court right to the locker room, not to the bench. So you figured this was serious. He could barely get up, had to be helped off the court. 3 minutes of game time later, he's at the check-in table ready to come back in. Amazing stuff. All right, the Knicks are now 3-6 in their last 9, 2-4 in their last 6 at home. Uncomfortable birthday for Coach Thibs, who again celebrated by losing to Minnesota, his former team, 116-99. We'll take our final break, and then we'll head into our final segment. As we discussed, we need to talk about the standings. Celtics won tonight, by the way. We'll get to it. And obviously the schedule coming up with a day game on Monday. All right, when I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was intrigued. I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, so I had to give it a try. And let me tell you, lives up to the hype. I've always had issues with underwear, fit, comfort, just finding the right style for me. Well, Skims changed all that. Their men's line offers something for everyone, from boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. I tried the Skims Stretch 5-inch boxer brief, and believe it or not, I'm hooked. These are perfect for my active lifestyle. They move with me, never lose their shape, and stay in place all day. Whether I'm working out or just running errands, they're the most comfortable and reliable underwear I've ever owned. Plus, the lightweight material feels amazing, almost like you're wearing nothing at all. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com/LockedOnNBA and Skims stores. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. All right, next up, FanDuel. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets. If you win your first bet, that's $300 to keep the action going. The FanDuel app is easy to navigate, and the variety of bets keeps every game exciting. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly, no waiting around for your winnings. Whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some extra excitement to the playoffs, FanDuel has you covered. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. Get started with $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, we are back. Final segment of the show. Knicks postcast here as they lose to the Wolves at the Garden. Final score 116-99. We told you that the Celtics won tonight comfortably. They won and covered. They beat the Magic 121-94. So the Celtics are 29-12, and they have picked up a game on the Knicks. Celtics and Knicks were separated by 2 games coming into tonight. As we said, the Knicks are now 27-16. Celtics are 29-12. So the Knicks are 3 games behind the Celtics for the 2 spot in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, the Cavaliers at the top comfortably, might I add. They are 34-6. They are 5.5 up on the Celtics, 8.5 up on the Knicks. The Cavs are absolutely cruising. And for what it's worth, Thunder also have a 34-6 mark. That's 850 basketball. 850. Amazing stuff from both the Cavs and the Thunder. All right, so as we said, Cavs lead the Celtics by 5.5, Knicks by 8.5. As for the schedule, the all-important schedule, a couple of days off. The Knicks will enjoy both Saturday and Sunday off, as will I. Right back at it on Monday for Atlanta. Martin Luther King Day. This, folks, as we've been telling you, is a day game. Afternoon affair at Madison Square Garden, 3 p.m. tip time on Monday afternoon. So the Knicks will get to watch football on Saturday, as will I. The Knicks will get to watch football on Sunday, as will I. And we'll all watch the Knicks on Monday afternoon. By the way, Karl Anthony Towns, who, of course, missed his second straight game, the Knicks are now 2-3 without Towns. So, as expected, they're struggling. To give you an example of what the Knicks missed out when Cat doesn't play, well, he's played in 38 of the 43 games the Knicks have played. In 38 of those games, 34 double-doubles. So you are missing production on an all-NBA level. Points and rebounds and presence, obviously presence in the paint. The Knicks, however, struggled from three-point land. That's where the defense lacks. That's where Thibs has got to turn things around. Knicks didn't seem to make any adjustments. As we said, 13 three-pointers for Minnesota in the very first half. They hit 9 more in the second half, and they were chucking. And they were open, too. It could have been worse. As we said, 22 of 40, 55%. And there's cause and effect with everything. Because of the 43 pointers taken, by the way, more than half the field goals they took. They took 79 field goals. 40 of them were three-pointers. Point being, not a lot of foul shots either. They did not get to the line very much. In fact, they were just 10 of 14. Knicks were 15 of 17. And for what it's worth, since we check on it really nightly, the free throw percentage has begun to get better. Again, 15 of 17 for the Knicks tonight. They hit 14 three-pointers. So the Knicks are 3-6 in their last 9, 2-4 in their last 6 at home. As we said, Atlanta on Monday, right back at it Tuesday. They don't have to go far. They're going to Brooklyn. Then we told you the second of the 5-game homestands will commence on Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Remember, Knicks play Monday and Tuesday. They're off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before 5 Western Conference teams come in: Sacramento, Memphis, Denver, Lakers, and Houston. A brutal stretch, but at least it's at home. All right, the Knicks lose it 116-99. They're 27-16 overall, 13-8 at home. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now. That's LockedOnDaily.com. LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. Also want to mention the All-Stars, Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf, my friends. They handle all the stuff at Locked On Knicks. They're the best, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. The Knicks will try and turn things around. They get the Atlanta Hawks on Monday, before the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday, before several days off, and then a huge homestand against all Western Conference teams. Again, 116-99 the final score. Knicks lose without Karl Anthony Towns. We will be with you after the matinee affair on Monday against the Hawks. Until then, see ya.